Making this science and art as simple and lucid for all of you to understand is a very, very tough task. And I think we owe a vote of thanks to her. Sonia, well done. I remember the first time that I read about stocks or read about the fundamentals on return on capital employed, return on equity. All these sounded Chinese to me, and at least there was somebody to help me out at that given point in time. I would go back to the example that Sonia did mention to you. And I think मेरी मम्मी ने भी Hawkins का pressure cooker लिया था. But I don't know. In my home, how many of you are Punjabis over here? Okay, that's a very small population. Because in a Punjabi house, apparently there is one Sonu always there. In our house, I am the Sonu. So every time that my mom used to invest or say something, used to say, Sonu, FD kara de iski, FD kara de, FD kara de. When you ask her, Mama, FD kya hai? Kehte, FD kara de. Right? And you saw what Shailraj mentioned in the morning, that these investment vehicles are, कहीं ना कहीं bias होता है कि FD कराना है, mutual fund ही कराना है. Today, I think this session served as that catalyst कि आप please अपनी आंखें खोलिए. There is much more than gold. There is much more than real estate. There is much more than a mutual fund which somebody else is managing for you. Take that stance, take that initiative. Let this be the change today. Can I ask you an honest question and you tell me, okay, the answer of it, okay? How many of you know Dolly Khanna? Oh, 3 people know Dolly Khanna. Wow, I didn't expect this. How many of you know Dolly Bindra? क्या बात है, मतलब डॉली बिंद्रा के लिए इतने हाथ, डॉली खन्ना के लिए सिर्फ 3 हाथ. एक्चुअली डॉली खन्ना को मैं भी नहीं जानता था, टू बी ऑनेस्ट. I know. Not many people knew Dolly Khanna. Who's Dolly Khanna? She's just like one of you. She's a lady who hails from Chennai. In 1995, she and her husband sold the business that they own. The name of the business was Quality Milk Foods. That business was sold to Hindustan Unilever Limited. And Dolly Khanna and her husband Rajiv Khanna started investing in 1996, just as the way that we're doing today, knowing about equities, getting to know about it. Since she mentioned Hawkins was one of our picks early when she picked it up at about 140. Today that is 3,000. She picked Nilkamal, she picked Tirumalaya Chemicals, she picked Asian Granito, and she picked many other stocks. In these 10 years, the net worth of Dolly Khanna is 537 crores, having invested in equities. So, it's not to say that aapko bhi Dolly Khanna banna hai. There was a time, there was a moment, there was a reason, there was a catalyst, there was something that made Dolly Khanna take that decision. Maybe you can do better than her. Maybe what Sonia mentioned is that you could be that catalyst of change for others to see how successful you are, and perhaps one of these conclaves will be taking your name as that successful lady from this given stage and say that day on the 27th of April 2019, she started to understand what equities was all about. Right? I hope that is the day, today is the day that marks the journey. Going back to the light moments that we've been sharing. It is well advised to all the gentlemen sitting out here never to fight with their wives when they are driving. And that advice is well taken, at least since I read this particular joke and I prepared it for this event. That applies more to me than anybody else. So what happened? And this is a joke, okay? This is not a reality. The earlier one was a joke, was a reality. This is a joke, okay? What happens? So the husband and wife, as usual, have a fight while he's driving. And a little later, they find that a police cop basically, chases them and asks them to pull over, stop by. And he comes and says, "Excuse me, do you realize what you've done? And he pulls down the window and says, "No, officer." He says, "Do you realize that you've been doing 20 miles over the designated speed?" "No, officer, I didn't realize. I'm very sorry. Actually, I'm new to this route. पहली बार मैं इस रूट पे आ रहा हूं." So the wife shouts, "क्यों झूठ बोल रहे हो? हर दिन तो इसी रूट से आते जाते हो." So the officer looks at the lady. He says, "Sir, I realize you're not wearing a seat belt. Is there any reason why you're not wearing a seat belt?" He says, "No, officer, by the time I noticed that you pulled me, my driving license is actually in the dashboard. So I was bending over to find the driving license." So she says, "क्यों झूठ बोल रहे हो? 3 साल हो गए, कभी आपने बेल्ट पहनी है क्या? झूठ क्यों बोल रहे हो?" Then she looked at her, "Come on, yaar, please, yaar, ऐसा मत करो." Then he says, "Sir, is there any reason why the tail light is broken? Because I noticed that one of the tail lights at the back is also broken." He says, "No, sorry, good that you said that the tail light is broken. I'll get it fixed." He says, "झूठ क्यों बोल रहे हो? 3 बार आपको सेम पुलिस वाला बोल चुका है पीछे भी, और टेल लाइट अभी तक नहीं ठीक करा रहे आप." So he starts shouting at her, saying, "For heaven's sake, lady, can you please shut up? Do you realize I'm being fined?" So the police wala asked this lady, "Ma'am, is it always that this gentleman shouts at you the way that he's shouting right now?" Kehti, "Nahi, only when he's drunk he shouts at me." So whenever you're driving, don't fight with your wife, please. Because all those nightmares will come true. It is said that behind every successful man, there is a, no, but you need to claim this. Behind every successful man, there is a woman. So if you want to increase your chances of success, increase the number of women behind you as a man. Right? But the problem is, behind every successful man, if there are many women, behind all those women is your wife. Which is also a fact. But going back to this example of Dolly Khanna, please believe me that behind you as a successful lady, tomorrow when you do, there is going to be that grit, there is going to be that determination, that is the self-confidence in yourself. That will be the only thing that will be fueling your ambitions from here on. At the age of whatever that she did, 20, the first stock that she did, and 11 years in the market, I think this is a no-brainer that you should start today. I see many of the ladies in their very young years over here. That's the biggest asset that you have. And as for the ladies who are starting a little later, 5 years is all you need. You saw that example that Shailraj mentioned on the stage. 5 years is all you need to multiply your wealth by 5 times. अब मैं हॉकिंग प्रेशर कुकर 3,000 रुपए का ले लेती और 3,000 डेप्रिशिएट हो जाता, या मैं हॉकिंस प्रेशर कुकर 3,000 का लेती और वो 20 टाइम्स एप्रिशिएट करता. So I would have taken one Hawkins pressure cooker and I would have taken one share of Hawkins. These are things which are not known to you from the past, but at least when you start imbibing it in your journey as an investor, please इन चीजों से डरिए मत. It's a request to you. It's a request to you. It's a request to you. इन चीजों से डरिए मत. डर कैसे लगता है? When your husband says, ये लो 10,000, जाओ अपने अरमान पूरे कर लो, जितने स्टॉक्स लेने 10,000 में ले लो, तुम भी अपने अरमान पूरे कर लो. It's not a game. When you start investing, take the help of people who know how to do it. Start doing it. Start asking questions. Start challenging in your thinking process. And little later you will realize that you started loving it. The more you start participating, the more questions that will come to you, the more answers you will need to seek. Fortunately, there are people who can answer all these questions for you. 2 of such people who really answer these questions very well are as follows. And these are your presenters for the final session, which is going to be done right here, right now. And this final session is very important. From the fact that you learned what are the mistakes that you do, you learned that equities is the way to invest, and you learned that there are certain disciplines that you need to follow. But करना कहाँ है, कैसे करना है, कैसे start करना है, is all that these wonderful ladies will tell you for the next 15 to 20 minutes. One of these ladies is a mentor, is a role model to a team of women wealth counselors that we have. We have wealth counselors in research and ranking. Why do we call them wealth counselors and not sales? Because they do not sell. They only counsel, they only speak to you and tell you the truth which is right for you. One of them has 6 years of experience and is a role model to a group of wealth counselors. She is one girl who's actually taken a formal education in fundamental and technical analysis. She is one girl who actually enjoys running on all those Sundays at Nariman Point. If you find her early 6 o'clock in the morning, she's one who's running that entire stretch. The other is a very charming young girl, very, very beautiful girl, who's again a master's in MBA, and she's 5 years of experience in sales and marketing. There is one thing common between both the ladies, and I don't know whether other ladies as well, that both of them want to visit at least 10 countries across the globe in a very short period of time. I don't know what is about women and traveling globe, but they all also want to do this as a hobby. Please join me in welcoming them. This is the first time they are appearing on the stage, so they are a little thoda sa anxious hain. So please help call them on stage. Hemansi, she is the mentor, and Rajshree. All yours, ladies.
Thank you, Sanjeev sir, for the amazing introduction.
Allow me and Rajshree to share with you few aspects of investing. But before we proceed further, let me ask you all one question, that what made Sachin Tendulkar such a successful player? Actually, it was his mentor, Ramakant Achrekar, who mentored him, who found the true potential in him, and that's how where he stands.
I'm sure you know that everyone in life needs a mentor to get the right kind of guidance. Just like everyone else, I too needed guidance. I have always had stage fear, but look, here I am today, standing in front of you. This is all because of my mentor, Hemansi's mentor, who guided us and gave us this confidence that no, you can do this. And he's here with us today. He's none other than Mr. Sanjeev Anand. Thank you, sir. Thank you for this confidence. Coming back, similarly, you need a mentor for investments as well. Investments in equities, investments in any asset class. That's what research and ranking does, to show you the right way of investing in the best opportunities in equity.
Alright, so just wanted to know that how many of you have a passport? Alright, quite of them. And how many of you have a demat account?
You know, Hemansi, the last time I asked this question, one gentleman replied, "Oh, I'm a regular at DMart. I buy all my groceries from there."
Alright, well, jokes apart, I'm glad to see few hands up there. Now, everybody is aware about what demat account stands for. It's dematerialized account. This is basically required so that you can hold on to your shares in an electronic format. The same way, like you need to keep your money in savings account, you need, you need to keep it in savings account. The same way, in order to hold on to your shares, you need a demat account. And for buying and selling shares, you need a trading account. So basically, trading account is a link between your bank account and your demat account. Alright, so you all must be wondering that what is the number of stocks that one should be investing in? Let's assume you've invested in the 5 stocks. And what if 2 or 3 don't perform? Then your capital will go for a toss. Hence, the ideal number of stocks that one should be investing is 15 to 20. Not more, not less. Why? Because this helps in diversifying your portfolio and minimizing the risk.
Rightly said, Hemansi. And as Sonia just mentioned, never put all your eggs in one basket. Diversification simply means dividing your investments in different categories. For example, normally people invest some amount of their investments in real estate, some in gold, some in bank deposits, and some in equities. The advantage of doing this is that if one investment class does not perform for you, the other investment classes will cover that loss for you. So, the categories that you can invest, like in equities also, when you invest, you have to invest in different industries. These industries could be airlines, it could be construction, etc. So how do you pick these industries? How do you select these 15 to 20 stocks? It's quite simple. You just have to look at the management of the company. You have to look at the demand for its product, its future prospects. So honestly speaking, you have to read the balance sheet, you have to read the annual reports, the market share and its competitors.
Oh my God, that's too much to read. And considering the busy schedule that we all have, we don't have time to do all this. Plus, reading balance sheets are quite boring and research reports is quite a Chinese language for all of us.
Yeah.
That's the reason research and ranking will do all the hard work for you.
Research and ranking strives to educate and empower its investors so they know in which company they are investing and how will it perform for them. This way, research and ranking is a mentor to you to become a smart investor with time. So I would like to know from all of you, what comes to your mind when I say 5 and 5? Any answer? 5 times in 5 years, right? So your income, your hard-earned money that you are investing has the potential to appreciate 5 times in the next 5 years. You would want to know how. So our in-house research team looks at the companies that are listed in the stock market with a magnifying lens, scrutinizes the balance sheets very carefully, looks at the advantages, the disadvantages, and then shortlists 15 to 20 wealth-creating stocks just for you. This is what we call the 5 and 5 strategy.
Alright, so you all must be wondering that what is the amount that is required to invest in these 15 to 20 stocks? Well, it's minimum of 2 lakh that one should be investing.
And Hemansi, what if one does not have 2 lakhs to invest?
Good question, Rajshree. I will come back to you. But before that, we've seen that everything is available online these days. So with just a few clicks away, you will have access to our model portfolio, which will give you the list of the stocks, the buying range, the upside potential, and the research reports that will tell you why you need to invest in these stocks. And coming back to your question, Rajshree, what if we don't have 2 lakhs to invest? Now, we women have an inherent habit of saving a certain amount every month. That's the reason we have another service which is Vision 2025 strategy. So that gives you the flexibility of investing as and when you want.
So 5 and 5 strategy is a structured portfolio designed exclusively for you wherein you can invest a lump sum amount. Whereas in Vision 2025, you get the flexibility to invest as and when you want, as per your convenience and as per the desired amount that you wish to. So the only thing that you need is discipline and patience. Have you ever seen a bamboo plant grow? When you plant bamboo seeds, you water it, you fertilize it, you may not see any difference in the initial few years. In fact, you may actually start wondering if you're wasting your time. But in the 5th year is when the miracle happens. The bamboo plant starts growing tall and high. So for all these years, the bamboo plant was trying to, strengthen its roots under the ground. So when you invest in the right equities, you gain from the power of compounding, which can give you returns beyond imagination.
Alright, so considering of whatever we have heard up till now, if you invest in bank FDs, if you invest, say suppose 1 lakh, that will take 9 years to become 2 lakh, considering the interest rate which is 8%. In the same way, whereas if you invest 1 lakh in R&R model portfolio, that will have the potential to appreciate 5 times in 5 years. So don't you think 5 lakh is better than 2 lakhs?
Let me explain this with an example to you. Let's say you invested rupees 1 lakh in May 2014 in Bajaj Finance. Your 1 lakh today would have appreciated to 21 lakhs.
Oh wow, that's good amount.
Yes, Hemansi, it's a 21 times appreciation in just 5 years.
Similarly, if you see the price of Maruti 5 years back, which was around 2000, which has now grown to around 6800, which is almost 3 times. So in 5 years, it managed to appreciate 3 times.
That's the power of compounding, which Jigna and Shailraj were talking to us about some time back. So R&R has always advised us with unbiased talks. And as counselors, we've come across people who've always wanted help with creating wealth. Today could be your first step towards starting your wealth creation journey. We will only be able to help you if you wish to help yourself. You know how time flies. I've just given you 2 examples of stocks that have multiplied in the last 5 years. If you start investing today, your wealth can appreciate in the next 5 years or more. And believe me, today you will thank us that day for this day. Thank you.
Thank you.